All right, buckle up, everybody, because we are diving deep into planetary alignments.
Ooh, exciting.
Right, these moments in time when, well, the planets just decide to line up for us.
Yeah. It's been captivating people forever,
Yeah.
right? Like way back when folks thought these alignments were like big omens and stuff.
Totally, like, watch out, the planets are in a row.
Yeah.
But now we obviously have a much better understanding of astronomy.
Yeah, for sure. We've come a long way, but
What?
but there's still something about them, right?
Absolutely. So for this deep dive, we're skipping the basics.
Right.
We're assuming you're already familiar with your Mercury and your Venus and all that.
Exactly. We're going deeper.
Yes,
Right.
we're looking at the combined energies of these planetary alignments and how they can be like catalysts for change.
Ooh, I like that, catalysts.
Right. Both
Yeah.
personally and for, everyone.
Absolutely. It's like each planet brings its own energy, right?
Hmm.
And then when they align, they like blend and amplify.
It's like a cosmic power smoothie.
Huh. Yeah, that could really shake things up.
Ooh, I'm feeling shaken already.
Right. It makes you rethink things, your beliefs, relationship.
Everything?
Yeah. Even like your place in the world.
Whoa, okay, so let's break it down.
Okay.
We all know Mercury is about communication.
Right.
But what about when it goes retrograde during an alignment? Wasn't that whole Mercury retrograde thing back in '86 with the Challenger disaster?
Oh, yeah. People talk about Mercury retrograde all the time.
Right.
Like it's this big bad thing.
Yeah.
And while I can't say it directly caused the Challenger thing, it does show that even small hiccups in communication,
Can have big consequences.
huge. And during a retrograde, especially with an alignment, it's like all the communication channels get scrambled.
Ooh, that sounds messy.
It is. Misunderstandings, tech issues, you just feel like no one's hearing you.
So it's not just about emails going haywire.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that.
Much bigger.
Okay, well, let's move on to something a bit nicer like Venus.
Ah, Venus, yeah.
Love and beauty. But what else does Venus bring to the party?
Venus is all about values, like what's important to you, not just in relationships, but in life.
Interesting.
And during these alignments, especially with Venus in the mix, you really start to question things.
Like, am I living right?
Exactly. Are my actions matching my values?
So Venus retrograde is more than just romantic drama.
So much more.
It's a deep dive into, like, our being true to ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay, let's add some fire to this with Mars.
Mars?
Action, drive, but there's got to be more to it than just aggression, right?
Totally. Mars is the go-getter, that's for sure. Action can be internal, too.
Oh, I like that.
Right, like that drive to overcome your own obstacles.
Self-discipline.
Yes.
So with Mars in an alignment, we might finally tackle that project we've been putting off.
Absolutely. Or break a bad habit.
Oh, I have a few of those.
Don't we all?
Okay, now for Jupiter, the planet of expansion abundance, does this mean we all win the lottery during a Jupiter alignment?
Huh. Wouldn't that be nice?
Right.
But Jupiter's really about broadening your horizons, new opportunities, optimism, possibility.
So not necessarily material wealth,
Not always.
but more like an abundance of experiences.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, now for Saturn,
Saturn.
serious one, right? All about structure, discipline, like how does that play into an alignment?
Well, Saturn reminds us that growth takes effort.
I knew it.
Right. But it's good effort, like building strong foundations, healthy boundaries.
Oh, boundaries, those are important.
So important, and taking responsibility for your actions.
And I bet during an alignment with Saturn, we really feel that urge to get organized.
Oh, yeah. Create structure.
Yeah.
Face those responsibilities we've been avoiding.
So maybe not the most fun planet,
Maybe not.
but definitely essential.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
the cosmic architect.
I love that. Okay, before we move on to the outer planets, you mentioned the collective impact of these alignments.
Yes.
What does that even mean, like globally?
Exactly. These alignments don't just affect us individually.
Right?
They can influence everyone.
So like a ripple effect.
Yeah, exactly. As individuals change, that energy shifts.
And it all adds up.
And it can impact the world.
So if lots of people are working on, say, relationships during an alignment,
Could lead to more harmony globally.
wow,
It's possible.
that's pretty amazing.
It is. We're all connected.
Yeah.
Our individual energies contribute to this big collective energy field.
So positive vibes all around.
Exactly. Positive shifts within can ripple outwards and inspire positive change in the world.
I love that.
Me too. Welcome back to our planetary alignment deep dive.
We're back.
Last time we were talking about how these cosmic events can really be catalysts for change, both personal and collective.
Yeah, it's like the universe is giving us a nudge every now and then. Like, hey,
Yeah,
time to reassess, maybe reinvent yourself a bit.
exactly. A chance to recalibrate.
But I gotta say, those nudges aren't always comfortable,
That's true.
especially when they're coming from, like, Saturn, the cosmic taskmaster.
Saturn can feel a bit intense, I get it.
Right.
But remember, it's all about building a stronger foundation.
Yeah. Okay, tough love.
Exactly, like a cosmic coach.
I can work with that.
Good. Now, are you ready to explore the outer planets?
Bring it on. They're the ones that bring the big changes, right?
They definitely bring a different energy.
Like revolutionary, even.
Absolutely. So first up, we have Uranus,
Uranus, okay.
the planet of innovation disruption.
Ooh, sounds exciting and scary.
It could be both. Uranus shakes things up, breaks down old structures.
So we're talking sudden insights, breakthroughs.
Yes, and the courage to embrace change, even when it feels chaotic.
So should we buckle up for the unexpected?
You might want to.
Yeah.
Uranus can be unpredictable, but it can also be incredibly liberating.
Liberating. How so?
It frees us from those limiting beliefs and patterns that hold us back.
Okay, I can see that.
It makes way for new possibilities.
So it's like that saying, the only constant is change.
Exactly. Okay, now let's move on to Neptune.
Neptune, the dreamy one.
Yes, Neptune dissolves boundaries, blurs the lines between the physical and the spiritual.
Mystical.
It is. Intuition, creativity, spiritual awakening, that's Neptune's domain.
So during an alignment with Neptune, we might feel more intuitive.
Yes, more drawn to creative pursuits, or even more empathetic and compassionate.
I like that.
It's a beautiful energy.
So Uranus is the disruptor and Neptune is the dreamer.
That's a great way to put it. Now, last but not least, we have Pluto.
Pluto, the one everyone's a bit afraid of.
Pluto gets a bad rap, but it's actually about transformation and rebirth.
But it's intense, right? Like deep, shadowy stuff.
It can be intense, but that's because Pluto forces us to face those hidden parts of ourselves.
The stuff we'd rather keep buried.
Exactly. But remember, true transformation requires us to confront those shadows and integrate them.
So Pluto's like the therapist of the planets.
I love that analogy, helping us uncover those hidden wounds and patterns that might be holding us back.
Okay, that makes sense.
Good. Now, remember earlier we were talking about how these alignments can influence the whole world.
Yeah, the collective consciousness and all that.
Right. Well, some astrologers believe that the alignment of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto back in the 1960s played a role in all those social and cultural revolutions that happened.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. Uranus was shaking things up, challenging norms, Neptune was sparking a spiritual awakening, and Pluto was dismantling old power structures.
Wow, that's a fascinating connection.
It is. It makes you wonder how much of what happens in the world is influenced by these cosmic energies.
For sure. Okay, so we've been talking about these planetary energies in a pretty general way.
Right.
But how can we, like, personalize this? How does it apply to me specifically?
That's where your birth chart comes in.
Ah, the birth chart.
It's your unique cosmic blueprint.
So if you know your birth chart, are there clues about how an alignment might affect you?
Absolutely. Look at the houses that the alignment is activating.
Houses.
Yes, the houses represent different areas of life, like relationships, career, finances, and so on.
Okay, got it.
So for example, if the alignment is happening in your 7th house, which is all about relationships, you might notice some big shifts happening in your partnerships.
Oh, interesting.
Or if it's happening in your 10th house, the house of career, you might see some major changes in your professional life.
So it's like a personalized cosmic forecast.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about intuition.
Intuition, yes. Everyone says alignments can boost our intuition.
They can, but what does that really mean?
Right, like how do we know if it's happening?
Well, intuition is that inner knowing, that gut feeling that goes beyond logic.
That little voice inside.
Exactly. And during an alignment, that voice might get louder, more insistent.
So it's not like suddenly we'll be talking to ghosts or anything.
Not necessarily. It's more about becoming attuned to those subtle inner nudges.
Okay, but what if someone feels disconnected from their intuition? How can they strengthen that connection?
There are a few things you can do. One is spending time in nature.
Nature, good one.
Nature is calming, grounding. It helps us quiet the mind and connect with our inner wisdom.
So less screen time, more green time.
Exactly. Another powerful practice is meditation.
Meditation, classic.
Quieting the mind through meditation creates space for those intuitive insights to emerge.
So nature and meditation, both ways to get out of our heads and into our hearts.
Exactly. You can also pay attention to your dreams.
Dreams, hell yeah.
Dreams are often symbolic messages from our subconscious.
So like a secret language?
Exactly.
Mm.
Keep a dream journal by your bed and write down anything you remember when you wake up.
Okay, good tip.
Over time, you might notice recurring themes or symbols that offer guidance.
I like that dream decoding.
You can also simply ask for guidance.
Ask. Who are we asking?
Ask the universe, your higher self, your guides, whatever resonates with you.
Oh, I like that.
Before you go to sleep, set the intention to receive intuitive guidance in your dreams.
It's like opening up a direct line to our inner wisdom.
Exactly. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about healing.
Healing. Okay.
We mentioned how alignments, especially those involving Pluto, can bring up old wounds and emotional baggage.
Yeah, that can be tough.
It can, so it's important to approach this process with self-compassion.
Self-compassion, right. Be gentle with ourselves.
Exactly. Remember, healing is a journey, not a destination.
There's no rush.
No rush. Celebrate every step you take towards wholeness.
I like that. So where do we begin?
Journaling can be a great tool.
Journaling. Okay.
Write down whatever comes up for you. Don't censor yourself. Let those emotions flow.
It's like creating a safe space to express and release those emotions.
Exactly. You can also lean on your support system.
Friends, family, therapist, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Connect with people who can offer a listening ear and a compassionate presence.
Because we don't have to go through this alone.
We don't. Community is so important, especially during times of challenge.
Okay, so journaling, community, what other self-care practices can help during this time?
Rest and relaxation are essential.
Rest, yes. Permission to slow down.
Absolutely. Unplug from technology, recharge your batteries.
Take a bath, read a book, walk in nature.
Exactly. Anything that brings you peace and tranquility.
Sometimes we just need to hit the pause button.
We do, but sometimes we need a little extra support.
Right. When should we consider seeking professional help?
If you're feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or like you're struggling to cope, don't hesitate to reach out.
Makes sense.
Therapists, counselors, energy healers, they can offer valuable support and guidance.
It's a sign of strength to ask for help.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's circle back to manifestation.
Manifestation, yes. We talked about how alignments can boost our manifesting powers.
They can, but there's some common pitfalls to be aware of.
Oh, like what?
One is focusing on what we don't want instead of what we do want.
So like if I'm worried about not having enough money, I'm actually attracting more lack.
Exactly. It's about shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance.
Okay. Focus on what we want to create.
Yes. Another pitfall is impatience.
Impatience, oh yeah, I'm guilty of that.
We all are, but manifestation takes time and trust.
Trust the process.
Exactly. Keep visualizing, affirming, taking inspired action, and trust that the universe is working behind the scenes.
It's like planting a seed and knowing it will blossom in its own time.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Now, another mistake is getting attached to a specific outcome.
So like having a rigid plan.
Yes, we often have a clear vision of how we want things to unfold, but the universe might have an even better plan in store.
So surrender to the flow, trust the universe.
Exactly.
Welcome back, everyone, for the final part of our deep dive into planetary alignments.
It's been quite a journey so far, right?
It really has. And, as we've been talking about all these planetary energies and their potential impact, I keep thinking about how to actually put this knowledge into practice.
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it?
Right. It's like having all the ingredients, but not knowing how to make the recipe.
Exactly. So let's shift gears a bit for this last part and focus on some tangible tools and strategies for harnessing these cosmic energies for positive change.
Love that. So where do we begin?
Well, we've already talked about self-care practices like nature, meditation, journaling.
Right, the basics.
Those are always important, but let's get a little more specific, starting with something that's often overlooked.
Yeah.
Our physical space.
Okay, our physical space. What do you mean?
Our environment has a huge impact on our energy. How do you feel when you walk into a cluttered, messy room
Ugh, not great.
versus a space that's clean, open, inviting?
Much better, more peaceful.
Exactly. So it's about creating a space that supports your intentions and aligns with the energies you want to bring in.
So like setting the stage for what we want to manifest.
Exactly. For example, if you're working with Jupiter's energy of abundance, you might declutter your home.
Yeah.
Get rid of things that represent lack or stagnation.
Out with the old, in with the new.
And you could add things that symbolize abundance, like plants, flowers, artwork that evokes prosperity.
I like that, making our surroundings a reflection of our aspirations.
Exactly. Now, another powerful technique is visualization.
Visualization,
Yeah.
classic.
Imagine yourself embodying the qualities you desire or achieving your goals.
See it, feel it, believe it.
Exactly. As if it's already happening.
But sometimes that's hard,
Hmm.
especially when we have those limiting beliefs holding us back.
I hear you. That's where affirmations come in.
Ah, affirmations, yes.
Choose phrases that resonate with you and repeat them throughout the day.
Like positive self-talk.
Exactly. For example, if you're working with Saturn's energy of discipline, you might affirm, I am focused and committed to achieving my goals.
Retraining our brains for success.
That's the idea. And don't forget about the power of ritual.
Rituals, yeah, we touched on this a bit earlier.
Right, rituals help us create sacred space, connect with our intentions, and amplify our energy.
So, any examples of rituals that might be helpful during these alignments?
You could create an altar dedicated to the planetary alignment.
An altar. Oh, I like that.
Choose objects that represent the energies you want to invoke, like crystals, candles, images that resonate with the themes of the alignment.
So, it's like a physical representation of our intentions.
Exactly. You can meditate at your altar, journal, or just connect with the energies you've invited in.
I love that idea. What else?
A gratitude practice is always beneficial, especially during times of change.
Gratitude, yes, so important.
Take some time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, write it down, say it out loud, or just feel it in your heart.
Gratitude is like a magnet for more good things.
It is. You could also try a releasing ritual.
Releasing ritual, what's that?
Write down everything you want to let go of, old patterns, negative beliefs, anything that's no longer serving you.
Okay.
Then safely burn the paper, visualizing those things being released and carried away by the smoke.
Wow, that's powerful imagery.
It is. It's about making space for new possibilities.
I love that. So, as we wrap up this amazing conversation, what's the one thing you really hope listeners will take away from this deep dive?
I think the most important thing is to remember that planetary alignments are not something to be feared, but rather embraced.
Embrace the energy.
Yes, they're opportunities for growth, transformation, a chance to connect with our inner wisdom, align with the universe, and co-create a more fulfilling reality.
It's not about being passive, it's about actively participating in our own evolution.
Exactly. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all connected by this cosmic web of energy.
That's a beautiful thought.
So keep exploring, keep growing, keep shining your light, and trust that the universe is supporting you every step of the way.
What an inspiring way to end our deep dive.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. And to all our listeners out there, keep those intentions high, stay curious, and keep diving deep.